Today we'll meet a number of people, all of whom will be putting forward their own personal arguments, which I will then refute, and I'm in a particularly bad mood even for me. So let's kick off with a member of the Pronoun Police.
Bigot. Be a bigot with your whole ass chest. You'll have to forgive me, Pumpkin. My particular flavor of neurospiciness prefers bluntness. They, them isn't a singular pronoun bullshit that you're spouting is wrong, cutie. Ask the APA, MLA, Oxford Dictionary, Merriam-Webster, ChatGPT, Wikipedia, and basically every source on the internet. Shit, sweetie. They're all gonna tell you you're wrong. I'm sorry. I know that you thought you found a pronouns loophole by coyly defending grammar, when it turns out you didn't even know the fucking rules to begin with. There are funner things to do than embarrassing yourself by showing your phobia, cutie. Why don't you try having a snack? Or you could reflect on why you're so hell-bent on denying my pronouns. It's really giving methinks thou doth protest too much, honey. It's all right, babe. I'm used to it. I know that y'all usually troll us a shit ton right before you start playing on our team. Ooh, look, I can be coy too.
That clip is only 1 minute and 20 seconds long. Didn't it feel like a fucking age? And the smugness of that person. The, look, I found something in the dictionary that supports my argument. I bet she's being very selective with what she's actually using to support her argument. And I'll concede there are times when I would use they or them to refer to an individual person. For example, if I was talking to someone and they mentioned their friend Joe, I don't know if Joe is Josephine, Joseph, Joanne, whatever. So yeah, there maybe I would use they. But I know the person's name is Joe, so why wouldn't I just say Joe? And this is what gets me with the pronoun-obsessed people. Whether it be they, them, or zim, zer, whatever. For the most part, if we're referring to someone by their pronouns, no matter how ridiculous they are, that person is not present. So why are they so bothered? It speaks to me of an inflated sense of ego, that these people assume everyone else is talking about them even when they aren't fucking there. Sorry, talking about they, them. For fuck's sake.
DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. It means that every single applicant is given an equal opportunity regardless of their background, regardless of what they look like. They are given an equal opportunity to apply for graduate student acceptance. They are given an equal opportunity for job applications. And if you knew anything about the history of this country, it's that for the majority of our country's history, white men who were Christian were given preferential treatment over everyone else. Something tells me if you are insecure about DEI, it means you're not as good, or you don't think you're as good as other people. And you want a leg up over everyone because you are white and because you are a man. That's what that tells me. Have a good day.
No, it doesn't mean equality. Equity acknowledges that people start life in different places and in effect allows for positive or negative discrimination. If we then couple that with diversity, then we get the situation that we have in the UK at the moment, where the BBC are saying that white people cannot apply for certain jobs and that the Royal Air Force are saying their pilots should be more diverse. Call me old-fashioned, I think people should get their position in life, or career, whatever, based on merit, not ticking fucking boxes. In fact, I mentioned the RAF, let's stick with aviation. If I'm getting onto an aircraft, what I want is the pilots to be really fucking good at flying the plane. That's it. That is the skill I think they require. And if they've been hired because of that, that's fine. If they've been hired because they're a mixed-race, pansexual, non-binary Furby, then we have a fucking issue. And when it comes to people who are this colour, the only group in society you're openly allowed to hate, it isn't insecurity, or at least it isn't for me. In my opinion, it's more a sense of feeling pissed off that for all the white privilege that people like me are alleged to have, we're now having barriers put in the way. Box ticking is taking preference over talent. And of course, the weird thing is that discrimination can actually work. Back in the Second World War, the American Air Force wanted to set up a squadron of black pilots because at the time, no black man could give a white man an order. But because the US Air Force of the time was extremely racist, they assumed that black men would not be able to fly planes. So they set the bar ridiculously high. Thus, the Tuskegee Airmen, who were also known as the Red Tails, they were the best of the best, the most successful bomber escort squadron in the Second World War. They never lost a single bomber that they were protecting.
Difference between cis and biological women. Biological women, quote unquote, it's an outdated term. It doesn't mean much of anything. Biological women puts down trans people.
A mercifully short clip from Buffalo Grill. And for a man who spends so much time recording at restaurants, you'd think he would learn some fucking table manners. So, biological woman is an outdated term to put down trans people. As I've said many times, I believe the vast majority of trans people are just trying to live their lives, and if that's you, I wish you the very best. But for the hardcore TQ cult, like Buffalo Grill, these are the same people who use terms about actual women, such as birthing people, bleeders, chest feeders, uterus havers, cis, and refer to the vagina as the front hole. That doesn't sound particularly respectable. I really cannot bear that man. That man!
Go bag ready, extra clothes, shoes, socks, flashlight, lighter, emergency tarp, emergency food, emergency water, medical kit, cash. If you can get all of these things together, good. You might need it, you might not. It depends. Just be prepared.
So I'll start by countering the argument about leaving to flee. If you were in a country legally, there is no need for deportation, no means for deportation. But if that person is going to go on the run, first of all, I would suggest they remove all those unsightly piercings because that will set off fucking metal detectors. Next up, before all the loose items you're looking to get, maybe get a passport, because given the rate that the current US administration is kicking people back across the Mexican border, I don't think the Mexicans will wait too long to deport any illegal gringos. As for the items, food, cash, emergency food, emergency tarp, that's just food and a tarp. Putting the word emergency in front of it doesn't achieve anything. But what strikes me is the narcissism. The sense that I am so fucking important that the president himself is going to find me and strangle me with his weird little hands. That was the warm-up. Next up, let's pull out all the stops.
I am offended that our children are not receiving affordable gender reassignment surgery along with hormone blockers and access to abortions. This alone is a threat to our democracy. These are the same people who refuse to obey the science and get fully vaccinated. It's science, people! Science! Science!
Okay, Chief, calm it down. That's not the best delivery. Maybe he just stood on some Lego. Do sane people think that children should be given easy, affordable access to gender reassignment surgery? Children. Young people whose brains haven't developed enough that we would let them vote or even get a tattoo. And given that there are many, many young women who've had their breasts removed because they've been told they're transgender, when it turns out they're actually autistic, is that a good thing? Should we be encouraging it? If you're an adult, mutilate yourself all you like. And as for puberty blockers, those are the things they use to chemically castrate paedophiles. Speaking of which, why would a grown man, and I'm using that term extremely loosely, be so insistent that children could get abortions? Because if you don't fuck kids, they don't get pregnant. Maybe it's just me, but the feeling I get is that allegedly our brightly coloured friend is trying to hide in plain sight. And as for being vaccinated, trusting the science, I'm fully vaccinated. But I don't believe in mutilating or diddling kids. Anyway, there's one clip left, and this is the maddest of all of them, even madder than that. Have you ever seen a man who identifies as a woman, but also as a raccoon/wolf?
Daily reminder, you get to define what masculinity and femininity are for yourself. Don't let society dictate your gender expression.
You get to define what masculinity and femininity are for yourself. So for masculine, he does that, and for feminine, he kicks his leg up like he's in a 1950s chorus line. Or to put it another way, the laziest stereotypes possibly available. And given that in the room there's fetish gear hanging up on the wall, there's the anime furry poster, which is borderline soft porn, and the curtains that have come out of a child's bedroom. That is a grown man, and again I use that term loosely, and I'm dreading to think how he's got that tail secured to him, also wearing furry ears and women's clothing, who spins round in a circle, puts up a peace sign and sticks his tongue out. If that is the alternative to what society expects, I will remain extremely traditional. That's the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe if you haven't already, and as ever, thanks for watching. Today, we'll be meeting a number of people who are expressing their opinions or trying to further their... Oh, I've fucked that up already. That clip is only 1 minute and 20 seconds, but it feels to me like it took an entire age. And I'm about to belch. Oh, it doesn't mean equality. Equality means treating everyone the same. Equity means essentially that people have different starts in life and adjusting things for them. Equity means discrimination. And I can't remember the next line. That's a mercifully short clip of Buffalo Grill, or Lily Tino as he prefers to be known. A man who appears to get his styling from watching Psycho. That man is less feminine. Oh, fuck that up as well. What a strange angle to film from. So if you're going on the run like that, don't look at the camera. Just pick a weird angle. And I'd say if you're going to flee a country, the first thing you're going to want is a passport. Fucked it up the arse.